Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. This is welcome. Welcome to Sow and Tare Live. We do this every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And basically how this works is I go through the comments, start in the comments. People can tell me where you're from, how you're doing, and if you have questions or comments or just topics of discussion, then we can talk about that. And then after, somewhere in the middle, I have a topic, and so I'm going to have that topic, and we'll continue to talk. So if you like what we're talking about, chime in. If you want to talk about something else, go ahead and put that in the comments, whatever your topic is, and we will bounce around. We have fun and we talk about a lot of things, and it's always fun. So please keep your comments family friendly. And here we go. Oh, and Vay's Place is Verna. She is my moderator. So hi, Verna. I hope you're doing well. And yeah, you'll see her in blue. And she has a live on Saturday mornings and midday, like a lunchtime on Wednesday. So go ahead and check her out. Uh-oh. You guys must have been talking a long time. And the first comment I have here is from Andy Rabbit. Ed got bait. You are too funny sometimes, which I agree, but I don't know what you're referencing. So that's the oldest comment I have. Welcome, Andy Rabbit. And Dawn says, hi. Welcome, Dawn. S.O. Swanson says, I got my 2 likes in. Can't hang out tonight. Hope it's a good one. Uh-oh. Well, thank you for showing up and thank you for hitting the like. If you like what you're listening to, go ahead and hit the like. There you go. Thanks, Steve. Aaron's saying hi, everybody. How is everyone this evening? Doing okay. We got more rain. As of this morning's measurement for this year, which we're only on the 16th of the first month, we have over 10.5 inches of rain, which is a lot of rain. Yeah, that's a lot for here. But welcome. Ba with the ba. I might be saying that wrong, but welcome. Here from Louisiana. Awesome. Aaron's also in Louisiana. Don't know if you guys are close or far apart. Vay's Place is saying hi to everyone. And welcome and hi to you as well, Verna. Ba with a ba. I feel like I should be singing your name. Says, eating some Scotch quail eggs. They are so good. My mom made me those. Not just me. She made everybody those. When I was up in Oregon, which is where they live, for, I don't remember when we went, but last time we went, I brought quail eggs and they made Scotch eggs. There we go. Vase says, Katrina's kits are really growing. Watched her move them out to the grow out pin. Yeah, so the bunnies is what she's talking about. So the baby rabbits, they are in the grow up pen, and there's 2 of them, 2 hutches that I put them into. And so they're doing really well. They cuddle and play and chew on wood. They're doing really well, and the moms are also doing really well. If you guys saw today's video, then you know I spend a lot of time with them, especially after their babies go away. So they are also doing well. Yeah. And Scotch quail eggs, she's asking. Yeah, so Scotch quail eggs it's basically a hard-boiled egg with sausage around it, and then that's breaded. So you have to get it right so that the sausage cooks all the way through. I've never made it. Like I said, my mom has made it, but yeah. Okay, let's see what Ba with a Ba says. Yes, boil quail eggs and wrap in breakfast sausage, seasoned flour, egg wash, then back in flour the deep fry until the sausage is cooked. Yeah. So how long do you do that for? Because that was the key thing, is that kind of the inner part of the sausage sometimes was a little bit rare. Yeah, that's a good question. Dawn says, glad to see you're doing better, to Vay's place. Yes, me too. I'm hoping that she is all the way better. One heck of a week, huh? Man, for a week? All right. Aaron says, Scott, you made it. Oh, Buster, I missed you. Buster says, new subscriber, Verna sent me. Awesome. Welcome, Buster. I almost passed you by. I'm sorry. You're welcome. Any questions you have, any comments you have? We talk about all sorts of stuff here, and homesteading related, quail, chicken, rabbit, fruit trees, preserving, food. Any of that is all good. Yeah. Oh, you guys just jumped. Let me go back up. Okay, so Ba with a ba must be Scott. All right. Oh, you're also a new subscriber, and Aaron sent you. So you do know each other. Welcome to you as well. Welcome. Everybody saying hi. Vay's place. Verna says, Katrina, has the rain stopped yet? I don't hear it right now. We had on again, off again rain today, and we had like sunshine and the rain, and then clouds, and then sunshine with the rain. So it's not quite done yet. Tomorrow's supposed to have a little bit. It is supposed to get down to 39 tonight, which is quite a drop from what it has been. I mean, it's not unusual for the season, but given how much it's been raining, it's colder than I would have thought. And then it should be sunny for a little bit. Maybe not sunny, but it should be done with rain for a little bit. But then I think we might have another storm coming. So I don't know. This is it's a lot of rain. It's a lot of rain. And like I said, at least 10 and a half inches this year so far as of this morning, which is a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Andy Rabbit says, hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hey, PJ's here. Hello, hello. Welcome, PJ. I am glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while here. Hope you're doing well. And Ba with a Ba says, hello, everyone. I better be saying that right. Ed's here. Hi, everyone. Hello, Ed. Welcome. And oh yeah, Andy Rabbit says, nice to see you around, Verna. I was missing. Yep. Hopefully you're feeling much better. Yeah. Oh, Andy, much better, she says. Awesome. Good. Yeah, Vay's place says, wow, that's a lot of rain. It is, especially so I did a short right before here. We drove down to Silva's Crossing, which is the flooded area that I've been showing you guys on my videos. And something that I realized that I hadn't really told you guys about all that is, before all this rain this winter, that was completely dry. It's a creek, but it's not in the creek in the sense that like in the Midwest or in the East you would consider a creek. It's supposed to have water in it full time, but because of recent drought times, it has been dry, like bone dry. Sometimes it is supposed to have some flow all year, but it's very low. It's just extremely low. So it's kind of a shock to the system from going from that to just a whole bunch of water. So it definitely looks different. And when it gets back to normal, I'll take a picture and show you guys, just so you know, like, what we're looking at. Yeah. Let's see. PJ is also saying, glad you got better, Vay's place. Yes. Dawn says, Katrina, I watched a 16-day forecast on YouTube today where you are going to get a whole bunch more rain in the next 16 days. Yeah, that's what I figured. I know it's supposed to, I think the weekend is supposed to be fairly mild as far as rain goes. And if it is, I am planning on dealing with my humongous pile of wood chips that I've had in the driveway, not in the alleyway, but in the driveway on the alleyway, for several months now. So I'm planning on doing that if we have a break. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what to trust now. Yeah. Oh, Ba with the Ba. Perfect on saying the name. I feel like I'm saying the Barbara Ann song. You guys know what it is? Now it's in your head. You can't get it out. It's a good name. I'm guessing you have sheep. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe you should if you don't already. Ed says better start building that ark. Yeah, we had I had a coworker who was in a evacuation warning, and the location where she lives is way above any creek, and it was more that they would have gotten cut off than it would actually have flooded them. But it was just kind of funny. I'm like, if you flood, like, we need an ark. there's bigger things going on if you flood. So luckily everything's fine. Yeah, everybody's saying hi, Ed. Andy Rabbit says, I haven't got to watch the moving on out video yet. The moving on out, the bunnies, that was today's video in the week in review. I just incorporated it in there, and most of them were, I would say about half of them were just like, okay, we're going for a ride, don't really know what's going on. And then the other half of them had huge eyes, are like, I don't know about this. And that little gray kitty in the yard, he was trying to play with me while I was moving the bunnies. And I'm like, no, you can't. You can't play with me while I'm carrying a baby bunny. But they're all doing well, which is good. It's saying hi to Verna. Gidros, hey Gidros, how are you doing? Says, hey all, I'm here too on the other end of the couch from Aaron. Got to even it out, right? Saying hi to Ed. Oop. You guys just jumped. Hang on. So, everybody's saying hi to Christina, which is Gidros. Hello, hello, hello. Good wishes to Verna again. Verna says, after this live stream, I am putting celery and bok choy in the freeze dryer. I wonder how bok choy freeze dries. That would be interesting because that has such a huge water content. I'm sure you're going to tell us. It'd be awesome. Ba with the Ba says the sausage needs to be thin coated, and you can hear when they stop bubbling hard and the oil calms down. So the excess water and oil is out of the sausage as it cooks. Okay, that makes sense. I think my mom must have done it like on a frying pan, not like submerged. I don't think she submerged it. I don't know if she did or not. But that makes sense. And you'd have to have experience. Aaron says, Katrina, have you started seeds yet? Did you decide on tomato variety? So I got a whole bunch of tomato varieties, and I don't have them off the top of my head, but I was going to bring this up. You guys remember, so for those that are new to the channel or new to the live stream, I've been talking about heat-tolerant tomatoes because this year and last year, well, we really didn't get any tomatoes except for the volunteer cherry tomatoes. So I am looking for a heat-tolerant tomato because we got up to 115 this last summer, and tomatoes basically become infertile at high temperatures. I think it's over, dependent on varieties, it's usually like over 90 or over 95, or I don't remember, but we've had such heat. And I'm located in just south of the Bay Area, California, and we had such heat the past couple of summers that we haven't gotten any tomatoes. So I did order from several places, and most places sent me a package that looks like this, and it's a bubble package. This was, who's this from? Yeah, I think this one had a little bit of a little like $1 or something, I don't remember, packing, shipping charges. And then Johnny Seeds, which I had a gift card for, so it wasn't a big deal. But they had $8 for, and I only bought 3 seeds. So I do want to show you what they sent because we did have that conversation. And so 3 seeds, 3 seed packs. This is the box they sent. So that's why it's expensive. I don't know why. I haven't contacted them yet, but I'm gonna ask them why. I mean, maybe they just have a flat rate and they put everything in that box. But basically I have a bunch of packing, the receipt thingy, the rest of my gift card, they give me a new one, I guess. My 3 seed packets, that's what I ordered. And a catalog that I already ordered out of. So I don't know. I've heard good things about Johnny's. I've heard good things about them as people and their seeds, but I haven't. It was just really weird to have $8 shipping, and that's what I ordered. But now I understand. I think they probably have a flat rate for everything. That's my guess. But I'll tell you what these ones are. These is Estiva ESTIVA F1, Grand Marshal F1, and Jolene F1. Those were the heat tolerant ones from Johnny's. I did get Arkansas Traveler. I didn't get the Creole one that you had mentioned. I didn't look. The places where I looked, I didn't find it, so I didn't feel like looking further. I can do that another year. And I know I haven't planted anything because it's just been so rainy. I haven't really been like, I know I'm going to plant indoors, but I haven't really been focused in that direction. So yeah, I will. When I do, you guys will see it. Yeah. Thanks for asking, because that's a good, I don't remember all the varieties. Anyway, I will be planting tomatoes and hopefully eating tomatoes. Vase Place says I'm back to normal, but still battling my ear. Hopefully that gets better soon. That's tough. Erin says we've been doing candy in the freeze dryer. Man, you're putting it to good use, huh? So Vase Place says I have sweet potato slips started. That is awesome. I didn't start them because I haven't even dug them. So I'm just gonna leave them because you can't really dig. Last year I dug in when it was a little bit wet, but this is like really wet, and so I'm just gonna leave them, and whatever comes up, whatever rots. So that's my plan. You're supposed to dig them when they're dry, so I don't need to start slips because I know everything's in there. Yeah. Truck 3 Warden says, here from rainy Wisconsin, listening while playing catch with the puppy. Awesome. What kind of puppy? Welcome. PJ says, my grandson has been and only lets me watch Paw Patrol. No. Do you have grandma brain now? I've heard of mom brain. Is that grandma brain? Oh boy. Aaron says, Ed, I would like to see a picture of the shrimp once they're done. I don't know what Ed's doing with shrimp. It's probably a craft. Oh, or maybe it's a freeze dryer. I don't know. Oops, you guys jumped again. I gotta talk faster, guys. Okay. Andy Rabbit says, no, making California happy. I don't know what that means. You probably said it a long time ago, so it probably made sense then. Ed says, Aaron, okay, I can send you YouTube videos. Oh, a freeze-dried shrimp. Okay, you're freeze-drying shrimp. I don't have a freeze dryer. I do have the I have it. I'm paying on it, the layaway program. So I am doing that very slowly, slow on purpose. So I can put money elsewhere. Buster says we are dry in Oklahoma. Did you guys get the tornadoes? I guess I didn't. I should have started with that. Is anybody here? I know like a whole bunch of tornadoes went through. I hope everybody's okay. I mean, if you're on here, you're hopefully okay, but hopefully your family and all that is also okay. Yeah. Aaron says like dried shrimp, so I'm interested. You might be able to grow shrimp where you are, Aaron. That might be another thing. Ba with the Ba is a Kid Rock song. Okay, from the 90s. I'm going to have to look that up because I probably have heard of it. There we go. But you still should have sheep. Song I used to tease my sister with, Katrina Barbara Ann. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of, Ferna. The 90s feel like it was yesterday. Still in high school, right? Andy Rabbit says, I'm tired of driving all day, almost 10 hours on the road. Well, I hope you're not on the road and texting or commenting. I hope you're doing well and yet you're relaxed and can put your feet up. Wow, Andy, why? Oh, are you talking about the California thing? I don't know what she was talking about either. Ed Furman, welcome. Welcome. Good evening from the other Ed in extreme northeast Illinois. Is it extremely northeast in Illinois, or is it extreme as in like super cold? Welcome. I lived in Illinois for 2 years. I didn't live there in the summer, but I lived there. I've lived in Illinois. Oh, Ed's listening. Okay, he's doing other things. Andy Rabbit says Arkansas Traveler are good for heat. Yep. So I have the seeds for that, or I ordered them. I think they're actually in the packet that I just showed you that I don't know where I put. I just had it. Yeah. That's good. Buster says made 10 pints of pickled eggs Sunday. So I have tried pickled eggs and they are okay. I think they're best used for my tastes, maybe like with things or in things. The texture of it is something I don't particularly enjoy. Like I said, I can mix them into things. But yeah, if you like pickled eggs, that's good. Keep them in the refrigerator, or keep them cold, and that's awesome. I'm guessing you're saying quail eggs. Maybe not. You might have pints of chicken eggs. Hey, Diana's here. Diana Tuttle Top Farm. Your name's also fun to say. Hello. She says, hello, everybody. Which type is Verna's question to Buster? Which type of I'm guessing what seasonings she's asking. Andy Rabbit says, I drove by Baker's Creek today. I wish I could have stopped. You drove by them? Man, how did you get by them without stopping? You got to stop next time. Especially if you're going on a long trip and they're a little ways away from you. There's a Baker's Creek, or there was, I don't know if it is anymore, in Petaluma. They have a place in Petaluma. It's just a shop. It's not like the big growing stuff that they have in the Midwest. But they have awesome seeds. Baker Creek is rareseeds.com. Yeah, and they actually, when I reached out about tomatoes, they actually said that there's not a whole lot of heirloom tomatoes, and they suggested, that I find some hybrids. And then they did say some of their heirlooms that do better in the heat is Cherokee Purple and Black Crim. I planted both of those both years, so probably not what I'm needing right now. But I love both of those. Like that's my type of tomato. Manuel says, hello guys. Hello. Pickled quail eggs. Awesome. So that's from Buster. Brace saying hi to Manuel. Guido said, you jumped. Guido says, my reduce, reuse, recycle heart hurts from all that packing. Yeah, it's a big box. And you can reuse it and you can recycle it, but I do wonder, like, especially since like Amazon has gotten so big and the people are buying things online and then returning them, and all of that. Like, I don't know where cardboard comes from, and that sounds very ignorant, but I've never thought about that until the past couple of years. I'm like, that's a lot of cardboard, and it's just getting recycled, which, I mean, that's good, I guess, but you can also use it in your garden. So if you're trying to use, if you're a new planting and you need mulch, you can use that. You can also use it to like suffocate grass. My backyard. So Steve will be happy to hear this, but he's not listening right now. But tomorrow's video is I finally filmed the winter garden tour. So that will be tomorrow's. I have it almost all the way through. I need to go through and make sure I'm blacking out what I need to black out. And so that will be for tomorrow. And yeah, I guess that's that area and back. What I should have done. Okay, I'll do a different video at some point in the future of what it looked like before. But in the backyard where most of the video is, there was 2 humongous incense cedars that were 80 feet tall. They had been topped at some point, so they were all popsicle sticking up, which weakens a tree that large. And like the limbs had fallen in storms and stuff like that. They had termites, all that. So I had those removed, and underneath that was lawn. Now, I didn't use cardboard, but I did put black plastic on the lawn for a very long time. And in fact, it was falling apart by the time I got it off. And that worked. But putting layers of cardboard and mulch on top would also work. So trying to help out with the cardboard. But yeah, I don't know what is used. If it's recycled paper, if it's, new trees. I don't know what's used for that, the corrugated. And then Dawn says, I have grown Arkansas Traveler for 20 years now. They are my main reliable ones. I think I've heard you say that before. And it's really nice to know what works for other people. And I know that you're in a different climate than I am. You have more humidity where you are. But my climate is very dry. But at the same time, it's worth trying different things. And it's things that will work in one person's yard may or may not work in another person's yard, either within a microclimate or, across states and across the country and all of that. So it's nice to know that that's something that works well for you. Andy Rabbit says, if you grow in rabbit poop, they seem to be able to handle the heat and no water. Awesome. I had a volunteer tomato up. It's still there. It's still alive. It's been there for 2 years. Right next to the house. I didn't plant it. It still hasn't given tomatoes, but I'm not watering it, and it's there. I think it originally started where there was a leak dripping, but since then, the leak got fixed and it's still there, doing great. Yeah, just got started. Buster said, okay, you're talking about your pickled eggs. You made plain with jalapeno peppers, garlic, cloves, and dill saltwater vinegar. It's a pickled okra recipe I use. Oh, okay. Cool. Okra is something I have not been successful here. I don't think it gets as like the hot humid, that mixture. We get hot, but we don't get the humid. So I think it needs the humid. Awesome. Dawn says, I never got a box from Johnny's Seeds. It was always envelopes they came in. The shipping was above $6 for an envelope. Interesting. Yeah, mine was 3 seed packets. And they gave me a box. So maybe they were out of envelopes. I mean, that could be as well. I mean, this could be a shortage thing where they ran out of envelopes and just put it in a box. I don't know. Yeah. Truck 3 Warden says the puppy is German Shepherd, 8-month-old female. She knows how to throw the ball to me. Oh, just learning to catch now. She knows how to throw the ball. So what? Is she taking her mouth and go, and you catch it? That's pretty cool. You can teach a lot to a dog, and the dog can teach you too. Yeah. Andy Rabbit's home. Good. Done driving. And it just jumped. Hang on. Okay. Dawn says, I have 2 cats. 1 is 8 months old. 1 is 3 months old. 1 is 1 year 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 old. 1 is Buster says, I ordered more jumbo wilds from Zach yesterday. Awesome. So Zach is with My Shire Farm, and he is awesome, and his company's awesome, and they have awesome birds. My jumbo line is mostly from him. I did have 5, so 4 females and 1 male before that got mixed in. They were, Craigslist birds. They're adults when I got them, but they got mixed in with the ones from him. But his line is excellent, and you're probably a ways out if you ordered yesterday, because he's already backed up. That's awesome, though. Hey, Jennifer's here. Welcome, Jennifer. Does anyone know what lays more quail eggs, jumbo white or jumbo wild? I don't know. For quail eggs, I recommend My Shire Farm, and he does have a all about the colors playlist, which he is redoing. I saw on his last live, he says he's redoing that, but you can go on there and see if there's any significant difference. But I see that Verna has already answered. They are pretty much the same. If you want lots of eggs, better off getting standard size. See, my jumbo, which is the browns, the Pharaoh color, they are more. I have aviaries, so that might be different than a cage setting. But in the aviary setting, I think the jumbos are more reliable layers, at least through the winter. And that might be because they're a bigger size and they can stay, warmer. I don't know why, but they've been much more reliable than the standard size aviary. That's not standard size aviary. Standard size bird in that other aviary. And you guys just heard a male in another room. And so I think his numbers are based off of cage, and then I honestly don't keep track, but I know that I get an egg a day from all those ladies usually. Every once in a while I get more, every once in a while I get less, but it's fairly constant in that one. And in the other aviary, the standards, they have less. This winter it really dropped. So I don't know, but I think if you just kind of have to watch what his videos say, or if you're getting it from somewhere else, ask them. But Zach does have that information, and you might hop on his. He has I don't know if he's doing tomorrow. He does a quick live on Tuesdays, but he just got back into it for the year, so I don't know if he's doing it tomorrow. But I would hop on his live tomorrow and ask that question, because he'll know for sure if you're ordering from him. Yeah, good question though. Andy Rabbit says, Verna, I was driving because my son-in-law needed to pick something up. Oh, you were voted as a driver. Okay, got it. Andy Rabbit says, I don't think Baker Creek is open this time of year. Oh, okay. I don't go up to Petaluma very often. I don't think they're open on Fridays. I think that's their day off that they observe. I think that's right. There's some day during the week. It might be Wednesdays. I don't remember, but there's some day during the week that they're not open. So if you do go, you have to check and make sure that they're going to be open that day. Yeah. And Verna says, wow, Andy, you sure do love your son-in-law. Ed's back. Welcome back. Dawn says, you jumped. Cardboard comes from trees and paper factories. They are great for gardens and stop weeds, and worms love them. Yes, that's true. I end up using all my boxes with the quail. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. But I know a lot of it ends up in the trash. A lot of it ends up recycled. So yeah, hopefully it comes. I mean, I know some boxes say recycled on them, but I don't know how often that happens. They should be able to just reuse it. I know when I get stuff for Azure Standard, which is it's like a bulk. You don't have to do bulk, but I use it for a bulk store, and they actually deliver different places along their route. And their information, there's a link in all of my videos in the description to a link for that. But whenever I get stuff from them, they have things packed in whatever boxes are available. So, they have things packaged up in, you might get a French fry box and it's fine because guess what? It's a box and it works. And they try and reduce the waste that way and also cost, I would imagine. Yeah. Andy Rout says, have you ever came to the Baker Creek shows? I have not, but they do put on the Heirloom Expo here. So far it's been in Santa Rosa, which is 3 hours away from me and 45 minutes away from my cousin's house. So I go stay with her. This year it's going to be down by LA. So I need to find a new place to stay. That's about 6 hours from me, 6+ hours. So yeah, I've been to the Heirloom Expo, but I haven't been to the ones in the Midwest at all. The Heirloom Expo is really good. So that's a good thing. And they're good people. So yeah, I definitely support them. Oh, Andy, you're talking with Verna. Dawn says the Arkansas Traveler tomatoes do so well here because of drought, 100+ degree days, and high humidity. So I'm hoping that high humidity is not a qualifying factor because we don't have that. But I'm hoping that they work. Awesome. Andy Rabbit says, my mom says she had a tomato plant that was 6 years old. They can last as long as it doesn't frost or freeze, but it's frosted here. It may have even frozen, but it's right up against the house. The one that's out here is 2 years old. But there's also plants that seem to not go by the rules. I had some broccoli plants. If you're growing broccoli right now, I'm not because I didn't plant things out there because I knew the seeds would just rot. But if you're growing broccoli plants and you have that head of broccoli, if you just cut off the head and leave the plant, you'll get little broccolis coming up and be like broccolini. And you can keep cutting that. And it lasted 3 years. I guess things last 3 years. I had 2 plants of broccoli that I just kept on harvesting from. And then at some point it didn't flower anymore and it just, dormant, and then it come back, not dormant, but it didn't grow. And then it started growing again and all that. And I had 2 of them last, I think it was 3 years. And you have to be careful with it after the first year or even at the end of the first year because it'll get cabbage worms and aphids, and those don't taste good. Ask me how I know. But you can have them over winter and all that in my climate, which I'm zone 9B. And then I had an eggplant in the front that also overwintered. I think it was overwintered two winters. I don't think it's there right now. I think it finally said goodbye. But it is fun when you have those plants. Yeah. Aaron says, let's hear about your sleeves you use to move the rabbits. Oh, I suppose I should have looked up what they were called. How about we'll talk about that next time because I don't remember what they're called. Yeah, so if you saw the video from today and I moved the rabbits and I had these sleeves that are like this and have a thumb hole and they go up to like here, they have a little silicone thing on it and just to hold it up there, and it's supposed to prevent you from getting scratched in the garden. So like if you're working with roses, like that's kind of what it's geared towards, or thorns or something like that. It's supposed to keep you from getting scratched. Now, I thought I'm going to be moving baby bunnies. They have sharp claws. If I get scratched, I'll try not to get scratched. But the way I hold them, I have their feet, they're facing away from me. I have their feet in one hand and I have their belly. I have them like this finger is like right here. So it's across their shoulder and in between their shoulder and the neck. So I handle them like that. And so they don't really have a place to go that's going to scratch me. And so it would have been fine if I didn't wear them. But I figured it might not. I can, if I might get scratched, then I won't get scratched. Or at least I can test it out. I think the real test with those is going to be when I get to managing my blackberries, because even though I planted thornless blackberries, when they have babies, when their fruit drops and sprouts, then they are all thorned. So yeah, so that's going to be where the test is for that, because I do get scratched up with that. Yeah, I've only used them once that for moving the baby bunnies. So I'll tell you more later. I'll tell you what they're called when I have that. I saved it. It's in the screen and porch when I have the label. All right. Yeah, they're not made for moving bunnies. They're made for gardening. We're gonna put the MyShire so order eggs, and then the quail eggs, and then also the all about the colors playlist. Hey, Witch Doctor's here. Welcome. We made it, just rolling in from work. You guys work late. Well, welcome, and I hope you're not as wet as us. We've had 10.5 inches just this year so far. Yeah. Oh, okay. Verna says he isn't. So Zach is not doing Tuesdays anymore, just Sundays. Okay, so next Sunday would be when you can go on MyShire and ask him that question. But I would check out the all about the colors. For I don't remember who asked that. Was it a Jennifer or Jessica? A Jennifer, I think. Yeah. So maybe go on that link. You might have to scroll and find it, but it's all about the colors that Verna put. Vase Place put. Saying hey to Witch Doctor. Kevlar sleeves. Is that what they're called? Andy Rabbit says they're Kevlar sleeves. I don't remember. I know there's multiple brands. Maybe there's multiple brands. I thought they were. I will let you guys know next week. Or maybe I'll put a comment in here in this later. We'll see. Yeah. Truck 3 Warden says, if I have cabbage worms in broccoli, I soak the heads in lightly salted water. Gross, but it gets rid of them. They float to the top. If you have aphids, that does not work. It works for some of them, but then you will taste the other ones. So yeah, there are tricks to the trade, but it's always best to do a visual look. Cabbage worms are nasty. You don't want to eat them. Yeah. And if you steam broccoli and you missed one, then like the whole thing tastes bad. Yeah. Vase Place said, I looked it up, Katrina. They are called farmer sleeves. That sounds more familiar, but I will tell you guys for sure later. That does sound more familiar. Witch Doctor says you could get the Kevlar welding sleeves to protect your arms. I'm not planning on like bushwhacking through brambles. Yeah, you could do a lot of things. I got my dad, I think they might have been welding gloves. I don't know. They're leather and thick and they're long. I got my dad some for playing with their dog. He brings out leather gloves and she gets to play rough. She gets to bite on the glove, and I don't think they do that anymore, but they used to. And she had so much fun because she could do her doggy thing. And so I got him the big ones because he got scratches up here. Yeah. Ed says, refresh my memory on deep bedding. For chickens, quail, how often does it have to be changed? How deep? So, Ed, deep bedding is the deeper the better, really. I mean, you don't want to go 6 feet or something like that, but it needs to have enough depth to it that it can heat up. And actually, with this water that we're getting, and there's some water getting into the sides of the aviaries right now, and I'm having to turn it more. I think one is getting moisture, two, it's being turned more, and it is starting to heat up a lot more than it was in the dry summer when it wasn't getting turned as much because things just dry up. I think 18 inches is a good thing to start. If you want to do a foot, that's fine, but 18 inches is probably better. And the thing is, when you put it in, it's going to compact down. And so just think about that. And you have to also think about that with your roofs for your aviaries. So like right now, my aviary is getting a little short. I have not sifted out the stuff from my main quail aviary, which has been there for, I think, a couple of years, but I've just been adding material. It probably needs to, you could go as long as you want if you're adding material. but it's getting higher and higher. So that's my recommendation, is that you start with 18 inches, 12 inches minimum, start with 18 inches. And then it's basically anything except for cedar for your animals. If you're doing it without birds around, then you can use cedar. And that's fine. It's just that there's an off-gassing that happens that can be dangerous for them. And so, yeah, and then I do have a video. I think it's like, how long does it take to manage deep litter systems? And that's kind of gives you the information there, but that's how deep. And then for chickens, you definitely you can just put in a pile and they'll spread it out. You can do the same thing with quail. The only thing why you wouldn't do it with quail is if you didn't collect eggs yet, you're going to get eggs covered up, which isn't a big deal, but you just won't know where they are. But they will both spread that for you. Chickens for sure. And then how often does it need to be changed? It's not necessarily that it has to be changed, it's that it has to be added to. And you'll see when it needs to be added to, because it'll be broken down, starting to break down, and then you add it to give it more browns. So if it smells, then it's not. If it smells, then it has too much greens, which is too much poop, which means you need to add browns, which is the wood chip, the pine shaving, whatever your browns is. So I hope that answers your question. I have a lot of videos on deep litter and on composting wood chips, and that'd be good to check out. I think I have a playlist called composting. I think that would be good. Oh, I'm buffering. Anybody else see me buffering? Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm done buffering. Yeah, so hopefully that answered your question, Ed, and hopefully you could hear me if I wasn't buffering. Dawn says, I ate worms and broccoli when I was a little kid, thanks to my grandmother. I never ate it again. I will only eat store frozen broccoli. It affected me my whole life. It is nasty. You do not want to eat that. Andy Rabbit says, I will have to watch your video tomorrow, see the long sleeve. Do it. Hey, Psycho Ward's here. Welcome. Ed says, never had that problem. I don't eat broccoli. Oh. Verna says, hi Ricky, that egg is probably an egg inside an egg. Oh, you must be talking about a picture. Yeah, I've not had that yet. Some people have gotten like a whole shelled egg inside of a shelled egg. I haven't gotten that yet. I've gotten weird eggs and shellless eggs and teeny tiny eggs and huge eggs. Well, no, you're not that big, but that big. Yeah. And Dawn says, I only eat broccoli in a mix of things, not just eat it after experience. Yeah, so Andy's agreeing with Verna there. Psycho War says, I just brought in all the quail eggs and received the biggest quail egg I ever seen. It weighed at 25.6 grams. You got a triple yoker? Wow. Make a video. Yeah, it's huge, she says. Verna had one where it was a gram smaller. It was egg under the egg. Crack it open, find out. Yes, film it for sure. Andy Rabbit says, I have not gotten an egg with an egg yet. Only gotten one double yolk egg so far. That's it. Usually when I have a double yolker layer, then she continues to lay it for quite some time, which is pretty cool. Ed doesn't have buffering, so hopefully it's good. Back now. Okay. Apparently there was buffering. Hopefully you guys didn't miss something. Well, we're well past what I was going to call the middle, but I wanted to ask you guys a question. Okay. This is my topic. Women's clothing. I don't know who designed it, but it needs to change. I'm sure you guys have all, the women in the groups have all had issues with like the size of pants pockets. But, oh, Bob with the Boss says you were buffering earlier and I just moved it back. So maybe it was working. There was a time. Hopefully it's working now. Anyway, I know like people have trouble with jean pockets. Women's, like men don't even know what we're talking about. But if you're a guy who doesn't know what we're talking about, and there's a woman in your life, ask to see their pockets. But there's another thing I was thinking with my rain jacket. So I have a lot of hair, right? A lot of hair. I had it in a bun right here. And I would love to know if there are rain jackets that are made for people with long hair that you can put it up and actually have a workable hood. So I'm going to put this on. And that's as far as it goes because I have this thing here. And when I have my hair down, it goes much further like that. So anyway, that's my question. That's my question. It's a silly topic, but it's a topic I need to know. Vase Place says, Katrina, that is exactly why I wear men's cargo pants. Yep. My field pants, I'm by trade, I'm a wildlife biologist. My field pants are men's pants. They are men's pants. And they don't fit quite right, but they fit well enough to put things in the pockets. Yeah. Guido says, women's clothes, useless. I need some man pockets on my clothes. I don't know why they do that. I don't know. I think that's probably why people have purses, is because they don't have pockets. Oh boy. Ed says, that's what I was going to suggest, Verna. Yeah. Witch Doctor says, have someone made you an Assassin's Creed hood? Yeah, I do think that rain jackets, especially since like rain jackets are not, so a lot of outdoor wear, it's like, oh, you're going to go out and go hiking. Oh, you're going to go out and go hunting, or you're going to go out and go whatever. But with rain jackets, not everybody. I didn't own a rain jacket until I moved to the Bay Area, but everybody who lives in a rainy area has a rain jacket, and I mean, people with longer hair, they can have it back like I have it now. They can have it, a high ponytail. They can have, braids or dreads or, all sorts of things. And I'm just wondering if anybody has come upon any sort of rain gear or outdoor gear that's made for people with hair. Anyway, strange topic, I know, for a homesteading channel, but it kind of isn't, because having the appropriate gear is important. It also doesn't fit over my rear. So yeah, that is women's clothing for you. Ed's laughing at Witch Doctor. Andy Rabbit says, I hate the hoods that go down to my nose. That go down to your nose? Where are you finding those? You must be wearing a big rain jacket. Ed says, cosplay in the garden. Hey, Beam Farms here. Welcome. You came in at probably a weird time. We're talking about women's clothes and functionality. Howdy. I think I'm late. It's okay. You're still welcome. We're still going. Witch Doctor says men's pants don't fit the curves. Exactly. I'm looking for something, really any kind of usable gear, like Verna says, you get men's cargo pants, because women's pants, I mean, if they do have pockets, then they're like, short, like capris. And it's like, I don't understand capris. But yeah. I agree with you, Witch Doctor. Everybody's saying hi to Beam Farm. Someone tagged me. Someone said you need to be here, huh? Well, welcome. Yeah, definitely. If you have questions, go ahead and ask. I know we had a couple new people here. We've talked about a lot of things, and if you have questions or comments or want to talk about something, go ahead and put it in the comments, and we'll talk about it. Witch Doctor says, LARPing in the garden. I don't know what that means, and I'm probably out of touch here. Ed says, try military rain poncho. Does that have like more room in the head though? Maybe. And I love that your answers always go to that. I can look it up and see if there's a. I know there's a surplus store. I know of one about probably 40 minutes away. Yeah. Dawn says, I worked outside, rain or shine. I went to the men's yellow work rain jacket and pants, and the hood was huge, but it works. Yeah, so it's like it's too big or too small. Yeah. I mean, the rain jacket I have is very nice. It's a women's rain jacket, but it's not meant for like long-term being outside long-term. So that's there you go. Bob with the Boss says, are you knowledgeable on sex links? So we're talking about quail, back to quail. So sex links, I know that you need basically the red head of another bird. So like jumbo wild or a pharaoh, it's the same thing. Jumbo round, jumbo wild, jumbo brown, pharaoh, whatever you're going to call it. That and Egyptian is the red head. And I don't remember which male and which female you need, but one of them should be male and one of them should be female. And then you'll get sex links at the their babies. You will know what that is. Now, some people might not know what we're talking about because it's kind of a weird word, sex link. But it is basically there are genes that can show up in a male or female depending on the parentage, and basically on day one you know what that bird is. So in quail that are feather sexable, we're talking about Coturnix quail. In Coturnix quail that are feather sexable, you will know what they are by 3 weeks. Some of them might hold out for a couple more days, but you'll know by 3 weeks. And then what that doesn't help people with who are trying to sell chicks is this a male or female? So, I mean, that's what I meant by know what they are. No, you'll know what they are, male or female, by 3 weeks, if it's a sexable plumage. So that would be the reason why. And I just don't remember. Someone probably says it already in the comments, but I don't remember which one has to be male and which one has to be female. Yeah, let's see. Andy Rabbit said the red should be the roosters. Ed says yes because they wear a helmet. I don't know. Do the roosters wear a helmet? Yeah. So that's Andy Rabbit's suggestion. I don't know the answer. I haven't had need of that, so I haven't done it. I just know the background behind it. So Bob with the Boss says, I know Zach said you have female wilds and male Egyptians, that they hatch out male wilds and female Egyptians. Yeah, so the Egyptian is the redhead. So there's the roux gene is what you're looking. The redhead is the roux gene. So if you're saying the male or the Egyptians, so that matches what Andy Rabbit said, is that the redhead, which is the roux gene, is the male. Does that make sense? Bob with the Boss says, I was wondering if you could switch them and get female wilds. I don't think it works that way. But again, I have no experience with actually doing it. I just have experience with what people have told me. Yeah. Yeah, Vay's Place says, no, Scott, it doesn't work that way. So, yeah. Witch Doctor says Psycho won't stop laughing. I don't know. Psycho Word I haven't seen him laughing on here. Well, laughter is the best medicine, so hopefully you're getting healthier. Oh, Ed didn't say that. Witch Doctor said that. Okay. Got it. That makes more sense. You can hear him. Ed says the military guys wear a helmet, so the rain poncho hoods are bigger. Got it. Yeah, they don't wear it on the outside. See, when I'm on a construction site, I have to wear a hard hat, and I end up having to wear the hard hat on the outside of my rain jacket, and it just squishes everything in and isn't the best. But that's how it has to be with the rain jacket that I have. That makes sense. Thank you for telling me why they have humongous hoods. Dawn says, I got Egyptian hens hatch out of an older jumbo browns. Now I need a red male, which I think I have. Okay. Well, do it and see what you get. Yeah. My jumbos, the jumbos that I have were originally from an aviary that had the Pharaoh and the jumbo wild, jumbo brown, whatever that is. It has multiple names, and Egyptians in it. And then I just kept the biggest ones from that hatch, from their babies. And so they're mostly wild in color. There is, I think, one lighter one that I kept, but I'm keeping them based on their size, not on their looks at this point. Because that's what I'm going for is I'm keeping jumbos for meat and eggs. And then I'm keeping the standards for eggs, for selling mostly. Hopefully that business will get going. Yeah. Dawn says, I'm going to try and raise them because when I need hens, I'd rather know at birth instead of getting all the roos and hatch. Exactly. So that's another reason is that usually you want more females and you can actually process them. Well, I mean, you can process the males, if you're doing reptile feeder or, falcon feeder or whatever at a younger age. If you wanted to. So you'd be able to do that. And you'd be able to do that at a younger age, which would feed different types of snakes and big lizards and stuff like that. So that would be a reason, is that you don't have to put your resources into those individuals until they reach 3 weeks, and they can still be profitable for you if you're talking about profit. So that's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody has any suggestions besides military gear and the big yellow rain gear, huh? Well, I tried. I tried to get that guy out of you guys. Bob with the Boss says, my last grow outs of 70 birds only had 24 females, so a lot of feed on males. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I mean that's, if you're having dinner, that's fine. You can process them for food, and that's fine. They are smaller generally. The males are smaller than the females. Right now I don't remember how many I have. There was 70, and I have my quail mobiles, which are kind of a tractor type of thing, and I did put I put 17 in each, which is a little more than what the space you're supposed to do, but I just did it and they've been fine. And then I got 2 of those out because I sold 2 males and then I sold 5 females. So whatever it's left with. And out of those, I have 2 males that I couldn't fit in there. Anyway, yeah, it turned out to be a pretty good ratio this last time, but I've had it not be a good ratio. So yeah, that 50-50 ratio is for each egg. It's not for the whole hatch. Yeah, the chance is for each egg. Vase Place says, I know I have a couple males of my 4-week-old jumbo wilds. I heard them calling and mating. Yeah. You'll hear that. Oh, jumbo whites. I thought you got whites. Well, the thing is that you have to be careful with hearing them with that behavior, because I did have, in fact, my most recent I didn't even talk about my broody quail. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I had 2 broody quail, which I did a video on. And so the one that was on the eggs, the calico, she, I thought she was a boy. She was crowing, she was doing her boy thing, and turns out she's a girl. And she's gone broody 4 times. Now she already got off that nest, but I do have another broody one in the sandbox. So yeah, there we go. But so I guess what I'm saying is just because it crows doesn't make it a male, but it's more likely to be male if it crows. I guess that's what I'm saying. Because she definitely did crow. That's good, Verna. Yeah, for the number. Yeah. Bob with the Boss says yes, they will be 8 weeks old on Wednesday. Awesome. Mine are 6 weeks old today. My babies. Aaron says we don't count quail here. Don't or can't, because live math doesn't work well. Bob the Boss says, Aaron, you should be close to 2,000 birds. That's a lot. But from the sounds of it, you're selling the eggs and all that pretty well, which is pretty awesome. Vase Place says, Aaron, you can only count the meals going into the freezer camp. Yeah. That's important to know what you have in your freezer, which is a video that I partially shot yesterday. I don't freezer inventory. I don't know what to call this video, guys. But I went through my freezer, and I know I haven't even done a pantry tour. I don't have a pantry. Things are all over the place. I will be doing that at some point soon. But I did I filmed part of a freezer. I did the kitchen freezer, the refrigerator freezer, and then I have a chest freezer that I need to go through as well. And so I'm taking you guys along for that. So watch for that video. Aaron says, Scott, we don't count birds. Oh boy. I bet you have to, though, with the business. Aaron says, I just keep telling Christina that we are close to our number. Your number? Close is relative. Bob with the Boss says, I'm only at 250 birds right now. That's a good number. Hey, Vase Place says 15 watching, only 13 likes. Who is late on doing the likes? We have 14 people watching and 15 likes right now. So maybe they haven't seen that they like yet. Hopefully you're liking it. And if you like it, like it. Which Doctor says our likes are in. All right. And Verna's going to be right back. Awesome. Yeah, so let's talk broody quail for a minute, since I totally failed to talk about that in the beginning. Yeah, so I did put out a video. Was it Sunday? Was it Sunday's video? I think it was Sunday's video. It was either Thursday or Sunday's video about broody quail. I think it was Thursday. Yeah. And the broody quail tend to happen when I don't collect eggs. So that's what happened this time. And then, that's what happened. I mean, there was storming out. I didn't feel like going out there. I knew they had food and water. I peeked in, go, oh, you guys look like you're doing good, and walked away. Those will be our eggs to eat. But yeah, that's generally what's been happening, is that when we do that, or when I don't do that, it doesn't happen every time, but often it happens that you see a broody girl, she's sitting on the eggs, and it's good. They fluff out a lot more. You can go into the aviary and see a bird sitting on eggs, but she not necessarily be broody. How you tell if they're broody is if they're puffed up and like this over the eggs. And then also if they get off and you feel the eggs, they are very warm to the touch. So yeah, I'm hoping that other people are able to have broody girls. Aaron says, I have a new 30 cubic foot freezer that I need to fill up. I think you will be able to do that. Have you guys done your pig yet? I didn't see a video and I haven't looked. I think you did, right? Mine is a 7.5 cubic feet. I don't remember if it's 7 or 7.5, but it's small. And I have a table over it, which I have a video on that. So you can use the top of your freezer without having junk on it. But as we all know, the top of any surface has stuff on it. So that's a way to use that space without putting things on your freezer, because you're not supposed to put things on your freezer. Yeah. Bob with the Boss says, my goal is 10,000 birds with the customers support it. That is a really big goal. Are you looking at doing eggs and meat, or eggs only, or what are you looking at doing? Chicks, or kind of everything? That is a huge goal, and I hope you have the space to do that in a barn or something, because that's a big goal. Reachable, but big. Andy Rabbit says, I may fall asleep, so I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm still watching. You're going to be dreaming about random things then. Thank you, Andy, and I'll say an early good night to you. Everything you do, everything I do, or everything, this is Bob with the Boss saying what he wants to do with his birds. Everything you can do, or everything I specifically do. As of now, I don't have space, but we'll have it one day. Yep. So you can do a lot in a smaller area. I know that I have plans that if right now I have 2 aviaries, I have 2.5 because it's being built, quail mobiles, and then the brooder is inside the house. So I have that space dedicated for quail. And if my egg business takes off, which it's pretty slow right now, but if it does take off, I do have the mindset that I can use one of the like half of my garage isn't being used for a car, and that can be definitely converted for a cage system. So I do have 2 aviaries. I enjoy them in aviaries, but if I was doing more mass production, I would do cages in the garage. So that would be what I do. And then figure out what to do with all the extra poo. Yeah. Dawn says, I have one broody lady every night. I put in the cardboard box with pine shavings, and she lays, gets other eggs, and sits on them until I chase her out and take her hot eggs. And she gets broody. I wonder what would happen if you let her sit, if she's doing that every night. That might be just interesting to see what happens if she really wants to be a mommy. Kind of like Overraptor, my Buff Orpington chicken. She's gone broody several times in a season, and she has no boyfriend. She's not going to have babies. Yeah. Aaron says, we did one pig and still have another meat pig left. We also have potbelly pigs for pet sales and food. There was a potbelly pig in my neighborhood when we grew up, and his name was Bacon. What is the market for potbelly pigs? I guess that's something I don't know. I've known 2 potbelly pig pets. You should say that really fast. But what is the market for that? I'm just curious. I'm not going to raise them, but I'm just curious, like, how popular they are. And Bob with the Boss says, everything I can do. Yeah. There's a whole lot you can do. If you're not on the Facebook group Quail for Profit, which you might be already, that would be a good group for you to join. There's a lot of ideas on there. I'm working on a lot of crafts, so it's all up here right now, up here and in the freezer. But I have a lot of ideas for crafts that I want to do, and go from there. Yeah. Bob with the Boss says, scared to offer balut. We have a large Asian market, and I know I will not be able to support it. So what you're saying is that you want to do it, but you're afraid that if you offer it, they're going to just go like, gimme, gimme, gimme. I want more. Start with one customer. See how it goes, and word of mouth. And if you grow slowly, you can grow slowly. And I don't know what your space currently looks like, but if you are doing balut, really you only need whatever the breeders are, because those eggs, you don't need to have a brooder and all that. I mean, if you're going to do more than one thing, then yes, you do. But that's probably the least expensive for you to do, because it's just, I mean, it's electricity, but it doesn't, you don't have to brood them or anything. So yeah. Verna says, Scott, nothing to be afraid of. You need to try them yourself. Yeah. So Vase Place has done that. She's done video on that, and she's also sold balut. So yeah. Dawn says, Katrina, I saw your quail mobiles. Does the poo fall through the floor to the ground? Yes, it does, until they start, until they get to the age that they are molting, and then the feathers kind of catch in between the flooring and the bottom part, which is actually the part of the cart. And so what I do is I use, sorry guys, I have something stuck in my throat. What I do is I have a pressure washer attachment that goes on the hose, and I just put it in there. I scoot them all over one side, pressure wash it out. I have a thing to cover the feed holes, and then I scoot them over to the other side and pressure wash that out, and it's fine. And then you just churn the bark chips underneath them, or add more wood chips, or add more wood chips on top of it. So yes, it does, until they start having a feather build up there. And there's probably something I could do for that, if you blow it out or something earlier on, but I haven't been doing that. And honestly, I've just been going out, and their feed is fine. I've been going out and changing their water, not changing, but giving them more water every day, and just peeking in, making sure they look okay, and going away because it's been raining. I do have plans to make that an automatic waterer. And if you haven't seen that video, I do have a video on the automatic waterer system. It's a very detailed video. Yeah. So yes, it does, and no, it doesn't. Bob with Boss says, I'm only getting 50 plus eggs a day. I need to get at least 100 a day to offer them, I think. So I guess my question is, what incubator do you have? Do you have like a big GQF that you can incubate a lot at a time? Because you can start small. You can say, hey, I'm trying something out. Let me know what you think. I'm a couple months away from actually doing this, and try it out. I think it's worth reaching out for that. Yeah. Aaron says, we sell every baby potbelly pig we put up for sale, so we have a big market for pet sales. Cool. I wonder how many people know how big they get, because they do get bigger than I think what a lot of people think. That's good. So Vase Place is talking about balutes, 12 days in the incubator, candle them and deliver. You make sure you candle them, because that would be very disappointing for a customer to have a one that didn't develop. Don says, I am selling eggs to the Chinese here, and knowing I can't fill all orders, I am not worried. I'll just take orders for the next ones laid. Yeah. So, I mean, there's different ways you could do it, right? You could just take the orders as they come in. You could have a waiting list. You can also, you can say, I'm only taking customers, I'm only taking this many customers right now. I'll let you know when there's an opening. You could start an email list for that opening. So like, hey guys, I just got this. I have more capability now. That way you don't lose customers that might want to be a customer. I'm thinking about that. I don't have a website yet, but I do plan on having a website and offering a website, offering a email list that I think you can do through like Wix and stuff. I think you can do an email list and do pretty good with that. And that way people will know like what plants I'm offering, what herbs I have, what, if I have extra eggs, I might do a special, or, like what is going on with that. And that way you can send out a monthly thing and say, hey guys, this is what I have this month. Or this, hey, the peach tree just had a huge amount of peaches. Think about recipes you can use for peaches, or, doing that kind of thing, I think would be good, because you can collect interest right now and say, hey, I'm just starting out and I'll be taking on customers slowly over the next 6 months, or whatever your time scale is. And you can do that work now. Yeah. Ball with the Boss says, I have a GQF 1502. I don't know the different numbers. Is it big? It's probably big. I have a Hovabator, so that fits. Well, the egg turner that comes with it fits 120, but I took out one of the trays and scooted everything over so that they don't crack each other, and so now it fits 100. Yeah. Vase Place says Potbelly only gets 100 200 pounds instead of 1,000 pounds of common pigs. That is true. They are also, the size of a big dog, or the height of a medium-ish dog, but the size of a big dog. Ball with the Boss says, from what I have heard, offering to one nail salon locally, they will want 500 to 1,000 egg order, and I need to know I can get that many in 7 days. I mean, you could also just say, this is a test, you want to try it, and then say they're going to be ready at this point. Yeah. But if you want to wait, you go ahead and wait. But then you risk not having customers to sell those to. So I would say start small now and say, hey, we can do this now, and this is what I have. And if they like your product, then, I mean, they'll when you come back with more, then they'll say, okay, yeah, we want more. Yeah. Okay, it holds 1,200 plus eggs inside. Cool. Yeah, Vase Place is saying you don't need to have that big an order. Talking to the customers can do things right. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't done balut. I just know that talking with people is important part of that business, just for any selling. And I think that's talking to people and asking what their needs are too. So like if people are doing that only for holidays, or if they're doing it, every Saturday, or maybe there is some people that have it every day. I mean, there's going to be differences in the people who are your customers as well. So that's something to look into, is like maybe take it on as market research and say, what types of things do I need to do? So do I need to offer them in this size pack or that size pack? That's another thing you can ask. Yeah. Bob with the Boss says, my current eggs, I pickle 1 week and another lady takes all I have the next week. So I have to get my numbers up to branch out any at all. Okay. So you're already, I'm guessing you're pickling to sell. That's a lot of pickled eggs if you're eating them all yourself. Yeah, so that makes sense. But it only takes a couple months to get them to laying. So I would say take a look at your space and see what you want to do. So take a look at your space and say, I can have stacking cages here. I can have, know what you're going to do with the poop, the extra poop and all that. So yeah. Yes. So sell, pickle and sell to my feed store locally. Awesome. That's a really good thing. Yeah. Sounds like you're doing things right. And yeah, if you already have customers for what you have, then for sure you need to build up. But that doesn't mean that, at some point when you're building up, like, let's say you have you know how many females you have and they're just not old enough yet. That's when I would reach out then. Is at that point when you have enough females or some females and they're just not ready yet. And you can say, hey, I'm going to be taking orders in a month or in 2 months or whatever it is. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So, yeah. Well, guys, it is almost 7:30 and I only go until 7 usually. We are having a lot of conversation. Yeah. So if anybody has any last minute questions or comments, go ahead and put it in there. Otherwise, I think we'll go till 7:30, 5 more minutes. And if people have more things, and then we'll call it a night. We'll have dinner. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up and having all of this discussion. I think different people's perspectives and different people's experiences really help everybody learn, which I think is important. Yeah. Bob with the Boss says, was a great first live. I enjoyed everything. Everything. Good. Even talking about pockets, huh? Thank you. Thank you for coming. And we do this every Monday night at 6 p.m. And it's always a fun time. We go random directions. Sometimes it gets silly. But we're learning, we're having fun, and we're being a community, which is good. Vase Place says, have a blessed night, everyone. And Got Bait says, everyone have a great night. Which Doctor says, good night, everyone. Yes, thank you guys for coming. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Safe night, too. Buster says, have a good night, all. Welcome to the first one. I hope you enjoyed it. All right. Well, maybe give one more minute, see if anybody remembers something they wanted to say. Other than that, I think we're good. I do enjoy these. I think there's a lot of merit in having these live chats and conversations back and forth. Pretty cool. Something that you didn't used to be able to do, right? Ed says, Katrina, stay dry and finish that arc ASAP. Exactly, right? Dawn says, thank you, Katrina. It was a good night, including pockets and raincoats. Good night. Good night, Dawn. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for tonight. And have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week. Tomorrow's video is going to be the winter garden tour. So I'm on 7,000 square foot lot. Probably a lot of you guys who are newer and have seen some of the videos don't realize how small a lot I'm on. I'm in town, 7,000 square foot, and you'll get the garden video, the garden tour, as you guys have been asking me for a long time. It's finally coming. All right. Buster's going to catch Verna on Wednesday. Awesome. I am working during her talk, unfortunately. But all right. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe and stay dry.